Hi, I'm Jennet Ingle, the 5-Minute Reedmaker. If you're watching this on YouTube, please go ahead and click subscribe for me and notify. And that way you always know when I drop a new episode, and it becomes easier for other people to find my channel and to become better reedmakers and happier musicians. Thank you. I was recently at a reed making event at James Madison University, and the second thing that I discovered as a common error people were facing, I'm going to share with you today. And it's interesting, right? Because many times the answer to everybody's problems is pet the kitty. Do more out of the sides and corners of the tip because you have taken too much wood out of the center of your tip. In this particular reed making situation, the more frequent problem that I saw was this one. I have this reed here that feels very resistant. It's got a crow, but it crows kind of low, and it feels kind of hunky. And when I put it on the oboe, it's not exactly not free blowing, but it feels open and it feels low and it feels a little like it doesn't have a core. And this is the reed that I saw over and over again at this particular event. I believe that what has gone wrong here is that people have gone into the heart unnecessarily and too soon. So especially on this side of the reed, this is my example reed that I have made to demonstrate the issue. You can see that even though, like, the tip is pretty thin, but as the person was trying to finish this reed or was trying to improve this reed, they went in here and scraped the bejesus out of the top part of the heart, especially the attic section of the heart, to where the top of the heart is actually thinner than this bulk down here. It's a little less pronounced on this side, but even here I can see it a little bit. Thinness there compared to thickness further back. And on the surface of it, this seems like a pretty reasonable thing to guess, right? The reed is too resistant. What am I going to do? I better scrape the heart because the heart is about resistance. But in many cases, most cases even, I think, if you go into the attic of the rooftop and thin the top of the heart, what you're actually doing is reducing contrast. So there is less of a stop between the tip and the heart. There is less distinction between tip and heart, and that actually has the effect of making the reed be more open, be more sort of hollow sounding, and weirdly be more resistant. I think there's two ways that this can happen. One is the way I just described, where you're working on finishing your reed and you discover that your reed feels resistant, and so you automatically assume that going to the heart is the right answer. That's problem one. The other thing that often happens is when people are doing that initial long scrape, the game of that initial long scrape is to make the tip be thin, to build slope into the reed, and to get rid of everything that is definitely not going to be part of your finished reed. But sometimes I think people get a little heavy-handed through the heart. And so it's possible that even as you start, constructing your reed on day one, even as you start constructing the rooftop, that top of the heart might already be too thin. So, with this reed, having assessed that, especially on this side, here we go, in the center of my heart, I'm at about 43. As I move up toward the top, I'm down at 40, and that is significantly low compared to my normal heart. And the only thing I know to do when this is the case, when we've just gone too far in the heart, is I want to identify where is the thick part. And here, I think it's here-ish. And I want to rebuild my reed around that. I want the thickest part of the heart to be the top of the heart. Over here, I think it's not so pronounced, but for symmetry's sake, I'm going to do the same thing. I'll bring it down. And I will probably also dig out from the windows behind the heart to help the heart think it's thicker. This is a thing I do all the time. But starting right here, I'm going to recut that rooftop so that I'm taking away the part of this heart that slopes into the tip. And see if I can make a clearer contrast between tip and heart and make sure that the top of my heart is the thickest part of my heart. Stay in the camera, Jennet, stay in the camera. And for symmetry, I'll do the same on the other side. And then I'll do a little bit in the windows behind the heart. Again, for contrast, I really like a reed that has 3 clear sections. Okay, so my crow is lower now, which is expected, right? Because I've scraped some material out of the heart and some material out of the tip. But having that slightly lower crow enables me to clip, so I'll do that. And really, I feel right away the difference in where the vibration of this reed is. It's no longer like sort of quacking through the heart. Now it's at the tip. And I'll put it on the oboe. And the tone feels better, the response and resistance feel better, the intonation feels better. This is a wildly different reed than the one I was looking at a few minutes ago. And to reiterate what I did, I found the thickest part of the heart and I reconstructed the rooftop so the thickest part of the heart was at the top of the heart, and I could make the maximum amount of contrast between the sides of the tip and the thick part of the heart. And, a little balancing after that, and it recovered the reed. If you find, therefore, that your reed is a little too open, a little too quacky, a little too flat, and with a lack of core in the sound, I would inspect the attic of your rooftop, the top part of the heart, and see if you've got some invisible slope or visible slope happening in that area. And if so, maybe try remaking your rooftop just a little bit lower and stay out of that attic. Stay out of that attic. I hope that this has been helpful. This has been a 5-minute Reedmaker lesson. You can follow these short videos here on YouTube. You can subscribe if you wish. I hope you will. And if you need to reach me to order reeds or cane or a copy of my book, The Happiest Musician, or ask me a question that I could answer in a future 5-minute Reedmaker episode, you can find me at jennetingle.com. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.